Namaste. You know, when we first encounter peace in our lives, we feel a sense of boredom. Peace seems very boring at the beginning. But here's the thing you see, this boredom, the 7 letter word, the most dreaded word in the English dictionary, is exactly what we're always running away from, you see, boredom. So, yes, initially, when you're at peace with yourself and you're at peace with everybody else, it does come across like you're very boring. But when we look further into this matter, what we find is it's just that we don't get drawn into the drama. You know, the past drama we always used to get excited and thrilled about. You know, it might be like a romantic entanglement. Oh, have a crush, or like I want to find somebody to love, or somebody to have friendship with, like those friendship spats you have all the time. Or I want to like go on a holiday and meet new people and experience new places. All of these things initially excited you, thrilled you, because you just couldn't rest as this, whatever this is, in the peace and calm of your being. But what has happened now is what we used to initially think of as boredom becomes a natural state. Now, that doesn't mean you become boring. It's just you become extremely comfortable with yourself when things are at a standstill. When not a lot is happening around you, you feel completely at ease with that. You don't need to fill your every living, breathing moment with some activity. You can just rest and you can just be. Now, of course, that does not mean that you don't enjoy things. You feel happy, you feel all those emotions, happiness, joy, feeling passionate about things. You still have that, but then the lens is different. Now it's not something that you use to complete yourself or fill your so-called emptiness that you think you are. There's like an emptiness inside. That's what we fear the most, that we are empty, and we try to fill all of this emptiness with all of these experiences, so that we don't feel like, oh, nothing is happening, I'm empty, I'm bored. What will happen of me if this keeps going on? I must do something. I can't just simply be. So all that starts to kind of like dissipate, dissolve, kind of air out all this like subtle demands for doing something or experiencing something. Not that you're not open to new experiences, it's just you don't feel a hankering, like this desperate need to always be overstimulated, so to speak. It could be something as simple as like watching this video or watching any other video on social media. You don't get excited by it, you just watch it and you're like, huh, and then you move on, moment to moment. You see things arise and then they dissolve, moment to moment. But we can get to the bottom of this. Why are we so afraid of like just being ourselves, of just being empty? Or what is this emptiness that we fear so much? And I'm sorry to take you in this direction, but quite honestly, as soon as we start feeling bored, as soon as we start feeling empty, there is this tendency of the mind to impose its own limitations onto that boredom and emptiness. It is actually very transient, you see. If you sit with yourself and you experience boredom, you will find that boredom lift and you're left with just pure presence, your natural being. But one is not willing to go that far because it's afraid. What is one afraid of? What will happen if I'm bored? Well, this might, you might not agree with this, but it all comes down to the fear of death as I see myself and I experience myself. So if I sit with myself, totally quiet, totally calm, what happens is the mind starts to get restless because it's so habituated to these compulsive patterns, you see. It wants you to do something. It doesn't want to sit quietly because it knows if it sits quietly, after a while, it will disappear. And what will be left is just this vast, open, alive space that you are. Not this little entity that constantly tells you to be a certain way and do certain things. You're beyond that. You're outside this. You're this entire space in which this you, as you know yourself and experience yourself, appears and disappears. So, yes, peace can feel very boring at the beginning. But with this kind of peace, this pure, perfect peace of pure consciousness, pure being, this kind of peace does not need noise. This peace does not need stimulation. This peace does not need any means to justify itself. It is a peace that passes all understanding. So give yourself permission to rest in this. Take a break and just be and see for yourself who you truly are.